time is now.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to NUFC Talk TV. Welcome to the channel. We're going to have another Monday night discussion on all things Newcastle United. Calm down now. We had a heated debate yesterday, explosive debate, and it's good to have those undisputed shows from time to time. But we're not going to do that every day. Trust me, my liver won't sustain it. But we got to talk about Newcastle United. We hired somebody else today. Phil and Mighty Win are going to explain what the heck this guy is supposed to do. Something to do with, trigonometry, geometry, and all of that stuff. We need somebody like that, I guess, to figure out. And most importantly, we got to figure out what his name is, because that's going to be
that's official.
That's going to be crazy. We might just call him by his initials. But hit the like button, folks. Don't forget to subscribe. Become a member if you can. Help support the channel. You can super chat, super sticker, gift memberships away. You can donate doing that. Don't forget to sign up to our prediction tournament. That's going to be £5 to start for the whole season. You can predict every game Newcastle United is involved in, and we'll divide the money between the first top 6 places, basically. And so, yeah, get involved. Hit the like button, though. That's free. You don't have nothing. Just hit the like button and comment below. We see the chat flowing already, so that's great. And, all right, so we got this article, by the way, from The Telegraph, and that's who wrote this? Luke Edwards. Luke Edwards. A good, I guess good article, but it's saying the same thing that everybody knows about, really. But we'll go through it and discuss things. We got Win, we got Gary, we got Boki, and of course, host of Toon Tactics TV on YouTube, Philip. So, thank you for coming, Philip. Appreciate it, and everybody else, of course. All right, we hired this guy. Who is it? What's his name?
His name is
Sudarshan
Gopaladesikan.
Gopaladesikan is a technical director for Newcastle United now. He used to be for
but
Atalanta.
Just to make that easy, this is from the official Newcastle thing. Reporting to a new sporting director, Sudarshan, known as Suds.
There you go, Suds.
Will lead the club's data operations, working closely with Eddie Howe and his coaching staff and the club's performance, medical analysis, methodology, and recruitment teams.
Right. Okay. So basically, by the way, if you want to bail, Win is in jail because of the nonsense he participated in yesterday. He's knackered. So if you want to get him out, you know what to do.
I'm not knackered.
Well, look at the comment section, man. They annihilated you.
When have I ever been bothered about what anybody else says?
That's the problem. But okay. So what is this guy supposed to do, man? Just, I mean, he's not a DOF.
His role will be dedicated to implementing data-informed practices across all sporting departments throughout men's, women's, and academy teams. He joins the Magpies from Atlanta, where he was Director of Football Intelligence. And during his time there, Atlanta secured 3 consecutive top 5 finishes in Serie A and won the UEFA Europa League and reached the Coppa Italia final. Prior to that, he was head of sports data science at Portuguese side Benfica, and 5 seasons there. Well, they win everything anyway, so that's pretty irrelevant. Outside of his club experience, Suds lectures for FIFA's executive education programs and the PFA Business School on data-driven decision-making. He's got one very impressive CV.
All right, Phil, you want to give us any other about this guy, man? Listen, looks like a lovely guy. Listen,
saying all the right things. I'm delighted and honoured.
Oh, all the right things. Yeah, what did he say, man?
I'm delighted and honoured to be joining Newcastle United as technical director. Throughout my career, I've had the privilege.
What was he supposed to say?
Throughout my career, I've had the privilege of working with clubs that have deeply passionate fan bases, and Newcastle stands out for its unique connection between the team, the city, and its supporters.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Guys, we had 100 viewers
Oh,
before Win started.
I mean,
And
it's crazy, man.
we've got
And that
276 now.
and
Not
that is
bad, eh?
all. Listen, that is all it takes for Win to say to get him tattooed. You're gonna have to tattoo his initials because that's gonna be a long tattoo.
It would definitely have to
So
be Suds.
that is enough for it. You know what I mean? I'm coming to a great club full of passion and the fans.
I'm not going to get his name on the back of my shirt, put it like that. I'll be bankrupt.
Man,
Can I just say,
come
neither
on,
is he.
man, come on, man. Philip, come on, man. Defend this crap.
No, I don't think there's anything to defend. He's obviously part of our new structure. He's actually, I think it was, from what I'm hearing, he's actually one of Paul Mitchell's recruitments, and
He's put,
he joins another person who was there earlier, who was also recruited. We kind of missed something Ross. I think it's not Jack Ross.
Jack Ross, yeah.
Yeah, Jack Ross. Yeah, so he's like the kind of head of communications and everything else like that. But yeah, Stutzgo is interesting. He was like Atlanta's his title for Atlanta was like head of football intelligence. I've never seen that kind of title
oh
before.
my
which
God,
is really,
we keep making up names, man.
I
That's
love
really-
it. But they kind of, I need to read a little bit more about him, but they've kind of compared, like he's meant to be like one of the top mathematicians in the world. They like his like
Wait.
Well,
money.
I'll send you,
Mathematician,
Philip,
man.
2 videos that I've watched of 2 of his lectures
Oh please, yeah, please. I'll watch that.
to a footballing audience as part of his FIFA thing and various
man,
other stuff.
This is
Very,
criminal, man.
very, very
Well, the next-
impressive.
We signed
I'll
Pythagoras
watch
from
it.
Newcastle.
Please do send it.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
what is this? What are you? This love fest here, man? What's going on here?
We're just trying to get rid of some of the negativity. in
There is
this
no negativity, but let me tell you
atmosphere.
why. Man, I just don't get it.
Well, it's interesting
All
because
right,
we're going to have a CEO, we're going to have a sporting director that's going to take over.
Well-
we don't know who's going to be.
But
We've got
Well,
a technical.
with the players we've got at the minute, it's not enough. You can have the best coaches in the world, you haven't got the best
What?
players in the world. So who the coaching?
Somebody said on X, we got somebody great to get players that we're never going to sign. So
With that attitude, you might. Then yeah, why not?
well, listen. Well, actually, let me give my realistic thought. Right, I don't have anything against this guy. I think he looks like a nice guy, whatever. But the point here is, why are we doing things backward? We're doing things backward. First of all, you telling me we're signing a recruit from Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell's gone, so isn't it better, first of all, to get a CEO established? I mean, I don't know what's happening with him, but most importantly, shouldn't the DOF be in place before we start making signings?
Specifically, there isn't going to be a new DOF because it
So
says in Newcastle's official post, it says reporting into a new sporting director as opposed to director of football. Reporting into a new sporting director.
A sporting director?
Blah, blah, blah.
You just literally changed the words.
Well, that's why I think the position is like Suds is what he does and everything else, and like the other gentleman Ross that we hired. I think it signals what kind of sporting director we're going to have, which is going to be a bit different to Paul Mitchell, where Paul Mitchell had like a hand over everything, where this new sporting director will have a hand to an extent, but there'll be people with more kind of specific skills and experiences to allow them to kind of merge better. So I think we're going to have a bit more of a matrix structure. So people with specific kind of skills and experiences doing different things, kind of to help things work better, rather than having one overarching voice saying you're going to do this, you're going to do that, because it doesn't work in our current structure. It's just going to cause more problems and more conflict than we've had before. We've had it with Dan Ashworth, we've had it with Paul Mitchell, and I'm not saying any of them are kind of, there's going to be different reasons why those things didn't work out, but it just didn't work out essentially as well. So
The reason they didn't work out was because of Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe was unwilling to work with them properly.
Oh well, that's one thing. That's one theory.
That's one way to look at
Well,
it.
no, it's
Well,
not
no,
a theory. It's truth. The fact that
well, they didn't get along. First, I mean, that's fine. And Eddie Howe won the cup, so one had to go.
Eddie did a great job winning the cup, but he's unwilling to give anybody else the control. He wants full control over that club, which is fine if that's what we want to do. But if it's not what we want to do, we'll have to say to him, no, we're not going down that road. The director of football.
Well, but by the looks of things, he's won that argument.
But the director of football is the person who chooses players.
Because you can say he's won that argument.
There isn't going to be a new director of football.
Well, you say he's going to be a sporting director. Okay, that's just director of football backwards, I guess. But he's won the argument to be the coach that's employed at the moment. But he hasn't earned the right to say I run football now for a football club.
But I don't think he is. So why is that made?
No, exactly.
Like I don't think
he has. Come on.
But hold on. So who right now we don't have anybody. So this guy just got in.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in a supporting role anyway. I don't think he's going to run anything.
He's going to be the technical director. Yeah, he's going to report to the sporting director.
So who's running football right now in Newcastle?
Eddie Howe.
Well, in terms of it depends on what aspect you're talking about. So if you're talking about,
but right now we're not playing any games. Well, we just started preseason. But who's running the transfer? Who's running?
Yeah, so the transfers is Steve Nixon, Andy Howe, and Eddie Howe.
So is that right?
You don't think Phil? You don't think that Eddie Howe has to say so on ultimately whatever those three talk about? You think they three decide the same? They come into a conclusion. They all have 33.3% of the decision making that comes.
So Eddie Howe.
No, they don't, and neither should they.
So Eddie Howe, exactly. So Eddie Howe will give a template of what he's looking for. It depends.
So he's running it then. Why are we scared to say that?
But I'm not saying that he's running. I'm saying like you're asking who's running things right now. We don't have a CEO. We don't have anybody. So and I said
Eddie is running it. Let's be honest. Eddie's running it.
If Eddie Howe is the one that dictates what's going on, what goes on, what signings we go for, that come in, that we reject, then it has to be Eddie Howe is in charge of football.
So Eddie Howe gives a template of what he's looking for. Andy Howe usually backs up with the data. Steve Nixon, you can kind of see him as old school scout who can still do the data, but he does the eye test. He's the head of scouting. We're not in the room as to who recruits who. But for instance, if you look at Bruno Gomes, Sandro Tonali, these are guys that Andy Howe pushed for.
But lad, you are beating around the bush. Who is in charge of transfers?
But I'm not beating around the bush.
Who comes into this club? And it's Eddie Howe.
Okay, so who would you like to be in charge? Because when we had Paul Mitchell, people didn't like Paul Mitchell.
Again, you're changing the subject. Who is in charge now of who comes into this club? And it's Eddie Howe.
Recruitment, I said.
What's wrong with that if we just say it?
Well, there's nothing wrong with saying it because he isn't rightly.
Hold on, because Phil is saying that it's more to. I mean, you are saying that he's in charge though, but you're saying that he does give Andy Howe and all these guys, the say so and their importance. Now, Wynn is more of a radical theory that he thinks Eddie Howe is the boss of everybody. He puts the hammer down, type of thing. And but my concern is
that's what we saw on the pitch after the Everton game, and that was Eddie Howe. More or less, to me, I don't care what anybody says. That was Eddie Howe turning around to the chairman and saying, "By the way, it's either he goes or I go."
And but I mean, do we really think that we're going back to that thing that happened last season, basically? But do we really think that's acceptable for somebody to say it's me or the highway? It's my way or the highway. I think that's pretty. I think that's pretty. I don't think that's right. First of all,
no. He gave me to try and work with him, but we all saw what sort of ego he had.
I think we can say that it's fine for Eddie to come out with that if it's my way or the highway, but we have to then put all the blame on Eddie if things go wrong. Which is what you happy clappers are coming out saying, everything's fine. We'll go with Eddie, but you have to then put the blame on his shoulder.
I'm not. So me personally, I'm not saying anything's fine, but I'm just amazed that we've got all this love for Paul Mitchell, because when Paul Mitchell was around, people were kicking and screaming saying we are not making. You have to remember this.
But
Dan
again,
Ashworth.
that's
Dan
not the point.
Ashworth.
That's not the point you made.
Dan
The point
Ashworth.
you
Hold
made
on, hold on.
is
Let Philip
Hold
finish
on.
though. Let Philip
Dan
finish.
Ashworth. Dan Ashworth, whilst he's employed by our club, was talking to Man United. That's not Eddie Howe's fault. That's Dan Ashworth doing that. We had to take legal action. I don't know why you're shaking your head. Like, literally, that's what happened. Dan Ashworth was talking to Man United. He left the
No,
club.
that is true, but
Yeah. So
there were
that's
rumors before that he didn't want to have Eddie Howe involved in his operation, and Eddie Howe did want that. So there was a
okay. So there's you got a rumor. We've got actual evidence that they had to sack Dan Ashworth
no.
because
That was afterwards. That
no,
was
no, no, no.
afterwards.
This happened in February. Read Craig Hope's article. This
No,
was happening from February, January.
but that's why he left. And Ashworth left because
So hold
he was
on,
approached.
hold on.
He was
So
approached
he's
by
not.
Man United.
So he's not getting on with somebody, and it's okay for him to go talk to another club.
No, it's not okay. I'm not excusing that.
So he's a big man. He's in his 40s. He can control himself. If he's not getting away, if he's not getting along with Eddie Howe, he has no right to go and talk to
100
Man United or to any other club. So that's not Eddie Howe's fault.
No, that 100%. However,
Yeah.
if he's not getting along, if he doesn't want Eddie Howe involved, if that's not who he appoints as part of his people, and he goes into the club, to the authorities, and says, "Listen, I have an issue with. He wants his nephew in there. I don't want him in there. What are we going to do?" And he doesn't feel backed, then he makes the mistake of talking to another club, trying to leave, which is I agree, it's not good.
We don't know
But
that.
he-
Yeah.
But
Sorry.
before he left, there was a lot of rumors saying, just like the rumors of Paul Mitchell and Eddie Howe, how
Yeah.
they don't get along,
Yeah.
and so we can't say that these were true and those weren't, because clearly it seems like the only person he got along with, Eddie Howe, it was Amanda Staveley.
Well, no, because Eddie Howe's point is proven. Dan Ashworth couldn't be trusted.
Okay.
Right?
But you can't just say that.
We can. He literally
You
was sacked for
can't,
that.
but he wasn't sacked. He was sold off. And the other point is as well that Eddie Howe has not worked with any director of football in a progressive way. You prove a point that Eddie has worked with a director of football in a progressive way.
Well, he hasn't, but that's because the directors of football that he's been that he's had to work. Well, there was no director of football at Bournemouth all the majority of his managerial career, and the two that he's been saddled with, one was a snake, and the other one was an egotistical.
He left the
listen,
club.
I will.
My way.
I agree with that.
Eddie's way of dealing with them as well.
Well, we can go either. You can go either way. Now, listen.
Yeah.
I'm actually losing. I lost. I don't have any love for any of these people really because I don't know them. I don't love my kids and my wife, but appreciation because I thought Paul Mitchell. I didn't think the way he's left was the right way to do things. However, now finding out that Craig Hope has said that he didn't rate Isak. He's saying he's getting paid enough already for him to be honored the promise that he was given by Amanda Staveley at the time. Then I think that's BS. I don't think that should. Then I'm losing respect on Mitchell. So let me go to Gary. Then Gary, what do you make of this whole situation? We signed this new technical director. Is that the right title? Technical director?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think, and again, I'm going off memory. I think if memory serves me correct, there's only 5 of the Premier League teams got a technical director. A lot of teams now are looking at this data-driven information that they can collate, looking from goalkeeper all the way through to a forward line, where they can feed back to not only the coach who's training them, but also the medical staff about potential areas of concern. So they look at the whole image, if you like, of the technical data. And like I say, it is a new way of football clubs now running a team. And I think the one thing that, again, Wynn sent me the video and he talks about it in there, there's going to be lots of information that he goes by and a lot of information that he talks about that won't even be acknowledged by the coach. But if what they're looking at, if you're on a run of 3 or 4 losses, is there information out there on a technical basis that can close the gap, can narrow the findings between the reasons why? And I think, like I say, people will always look at, as we've mentioned before, eye candy. What the player looks like while he's, doing the job that the coach has asked him for. But the information that this guy will give you is more the fact-based stuff, the technical stuff that very, very few people do. Because even when we are watching the games, there's very, very few of us that actually follow players that haven't got the ball. And that's where this technical analyst comes actually into it and gets involved. He'll try and cross the T's and dot the I's, if you like. And like I say, the likes of Brighton have used this method for years now, for seasons.
Well, that's good. That's a positive.
Well, if you think about it,
when I grow up, I want to be like Brighton. They get all the good players.
If I can just interrupt, guys, just for 2 seconds, because in the video he mentions that at Atlanta he had a team of 200 analysts watching every single game.
Who's going to pay for that?
With 16 cameras, around the ground, and the biological metrics of all of the players being fed instantly into all of the algorithms.
My
God. So just to go back on what you've just said there, you want to grow up and be, like Brighton, but you don't want to be like Man City or Liverpool then?
I think he's been sarcastic. We've been sarcastic, Chris.
Well, of course he was, but that's what I'm saying.
No, I do want to be like Brighton. I want to recruit like Brighton.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
100%.
The data that they give isn't false data. You know what I mean? They give, and that's what I said. The biggest problem I see of Newcastle at the moment, and you can put this towards Eddie Howe with the proven players that he's looking at, is we're playing in the same pot as of the top six.
But
they all want to lick the cream of the milk. And unfortunately, when you're Newcastle, and we are just Newcastle at the minute, we're on a trajectory to be a big club. But at this present moment in time, players aren't going to look at us in the same vein as they do, even though the likes of Man United haven't got European football, they've still got a big club name behind them. And they will always have that stature.
And with Win, do you want to pick up the two of you guys? Are we going to start picking teams by numbers? So do you look at stats rather than actual way they're playing on the pitch?
Well, I don't think so. I think that's crazy. I mean,
no. Stats have got a role to play, but
of course they have.
There's nothing beats the eye test. But
but
the problem is, as Gary has just said, when we are watching a match, we are watching the guys with the ball. Especially if you're watching on television. All you ever see is the guy with the ball. You don't see what's going on elsewhere.
Yeah, no, that's,
and one of the particular metrics which Suds is introducing is, I don't know if you've seen the sort of thing that FotMob does with which team is pressing at any particular point in the game.
Yeah.
So he's particularly been analysing the points at which that changes. Which players were instrumental in turning the tide from them, the opposition, having the run of the ball and the play, the sequence of play, to us having that. And he analyses every one of those situations individually. And then you suddenly see that maybe that's where Sean Longstaff was doing his magic that I could never see.
But it ain't going to be no technical director in history that tells me that shows me how to do it.
That is that as a coach, it's not about just looking at stats on an iPad and saying,
I agree. I don't want to get into a rabbit hole of talking about stats because I think it has a place in football, and I think it should be welcome, to be honest. But the discussion can't be directed to that because now we're not talking about why we're not signing players.
No, the discussion should be 531 people watching and only 51 likes.
Yeah, we got exactly. Come on now, hit the like button. Stop for a second. Don't look at Win. Just focus on somebody else. Focus on Philip. Refresh your face, and just hit the like button. Thank you to Queen of Heart for the super chat. Philip, welcome to the Madhouse tonight.
Thank you. Thank you,
Queen of Heart. Stevie, by the way, says So Mitchell is gone and Howe has failed repeatedly this window after getting his own way. So Well, those are opinions.
Right? Listen, that's a valid opinion. Accept that.
It is, except
Look at the players that he's failed on, and look where they've gone instead of coming to Newcastle United. They've gone to Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City,
Yeah, that's fine.
Real Madrid.
Yeah, no, but by the way, this Hoysen, was it? We never in for him, man. We just asked, is he available?
Yes, we were in for. We're
We triggered his
interested in
release
him.
clause. We triggered his release clause.
We
There's
did.
a whole article, and we triggered his release clause. They were impressed with our presentation, everything. We had a good old conversation with Dean.
It was the player's choice to go to Madrid.
Yeah.
And that's the same with all of the others that have gone elsewhere. You know,
Honestly.
You've just got to
Yeah,
accept reality
that's
of where we currently are.
okay
in
then.
the pecking order.
Perfect. Let's accept reality. So we can go for top players. That's
No,
proven.
that doesn't mean we can't go for top players. It just
so what are we
means
talking
that if
about
we are going for a top player,
What does that mean?
and a bigger fish in the pool is going for
Yeah,
that
top player
same
as well.
top player,
But
then
Oh,
we're gonna
every
lose
top
out.
player is like that. Win every top player.
Yeah.
Every top player is like that.
Sooner or later, we will hit on the
Okay.
ones.
Oh, sooner
that
or
aren't
later. Okay.
interesting.
We'll let you sit
and,
around.
look, Choppy's hit the nail on the head. Liam Delap, there's one that I thought we could have really pulled, but he decided to go to London to Chelsea because he had no idea that they were going to go in Sao Pedro. If he'd have thought that, mate, trust me, he would never have gone to Chelsea. He's not going to have many games at Chelsea now.
And they're linked to Xavi now.
Simmons,
Yeah.
Yeah. So which is mad, but
The Laps world is closing all around him.
no, 100%. And by the way, look at Tosin Derabioyo. He's looking to be sold now from Chelsea when he could have joined in Newcastle at the time. But my point is that why are we not open-minded? I like to say that a lot on this channel. Why are we not open-minded? Why are we not trying different things? Why do we only have one way of doing things? You know, because okay, we can't battle for Ekitiki. Perfect. Liverpool or a massive club. They actually tick all the marks.
Have you seen his wages that they offered him?
Whatever the wages are, perfect. You know, they're gonna go for money. Perfect. But
we're unwilling to win at the top price of players, or the price of players are
hold
worth.
on. My point is, why can't we recruit like Brighton? What stops us from doing that? Mighty Wind will tell me that they own a casino in America. That's why. Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Because we bottle it at the top price.
Okay,
Why can't we go? Why can't we go for an Echeberry? Why can't we go for this guy that the Forest bought from Botafogo?
Yeah.
Why?
I hate to ask a question with a question, but
You're
do
avoiding the question.
you want the expectations of a Brighton?
No. I'm not going to accept that though. Hold on. I'm gonna debunk that theory because you're telling me that what I'm saying is recruit like Brighton doesn't mean be like Brighton, which is a selling club. You recruit and you keep them. That's what I want. Not
The
selling.
reason why they go to Brighton is because you've got players who clubs aren't willing to take a risk on. Brighton are willing to give them take a risk on because they know
It's a stepping stone club.
Newcastle's expectations this season are Champions League.
No, that's fine. No, hold on though, Philip. Sorry, but if you go out there and beat people to the punch, like young South American great talents, they will join because they want to make it to Europe. They want to get paid a lot of money. They're not thinking about London like Mighty Win thinks. They're not thinking about, of course they want to pay for the big. And you might get that situation where they become great and a Man City or Real Madrid won them. But that's the same situation with Isaac right now. That would be the same situation if we sign Ekitiki. If he does great in the next 2 years, Real Madrid might be in for him. But you're always going to have that question. I think
the reason we can't sign players at the minute is because we're lowballing every club.
I agree with that. I don't understand that.
In regards to signings.
Thank you.
If we had went in with, the sort of buyout clause of players, we could have had a couple of signings, and we haven't done that. And that's the massive problem that we have is that we are basically trying to go in and get players on the low side of transfers.
You're absolutely right, Bokeh. But what I think the biggest thing is, we've all seen a lot of finger pointing towards, the backroom staff, the coaching staff at Newcastle, the transfer team at Newcastle. Well, how many players do you believe we need to actually be secure across all domestic cups and European trophies.
We said it, 4 players. We
So
said that.
how much money do you think we have in the pot for 3 or 4 players?
But man, okay.
But
first,
hold on, no.
no.
This is what I'm saying, though. You see, we can all make an excuse and we can all point a finger, but if you've only got 150, 180 million in the pot,
only.
Yeah, but if you're paying £80 million for one player, it means that the other areas of the field that you're also looking to fill, you've got a lesser player going in there. If you've got a price
Then
for each
why
area,
hold on?
that's what I've just said. Why are we looking
take-
at the same players as
Okay.
the top 6 teams? You don't need to.
Okay, so exactly. Thank you to Irish Assassin for
right, so
for
can I
becoming
come in
becoming a member. But why?
The reason we are looking at those players is because that is the level that we're
But you can't have it both
striving to
ways,
be
mate.
at.
Wait, man, we need some accountability in this channel, man, for real. Because we can't have it both ways. You can't
not?
want an elite player like Ekitiki and pay 20 million for him. It can't happen.
We didn't try to pay
We
20
didn't charge
million
20
for it.
million.
No, it was
You-
65.
We
plus
were in
five.
65.
Yeah,
65. man.
plus 5.
If we have 150 million, we already spent 50 of it. Watch you can debunk that because we sold Longstaff and the other guy, the
Kelly and
to the Emirates.
Almiron.
So
We
actually,
also
yeah, we
targeted as
we
well.
should have a lot more.
Yeah, and also you've got amortization. So
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So what are we talking about? Then what's the excuse of not having money?
No, okay, we're just.
Well,
we're just-
I'm not saying there's an excuse for not having money. What I'm saying
No,
is
I wasn't saying
if there's a pot of so much within it, and that's what I said. For me, the biggest issue we have here, and I think Newcastle have every right to go and throw a legal writ at the Premier League and say it is unfair for what's been happening for Newcastle over the last 4 seasons, for what they've done to stop us buying and becoming a part of the cartel in the top 6. They just want to put a bigger wedge, and we're finding it very, very difficult now because of our history and our past to actually match without having the money to do so, like you've just said, to put down sensible offers for very good players.
Lovely to see Jordy Z back. Lost out. Remember Jordy Z? I remember Jordy Z used to watch this when on this channel when we were low on viewers, and then I seen him on your channel as well. So that's the great stuff. So lost out on Madison, Gehi, Pedro, Ekitiki, all low ball offers. And listen, if we know that every target that we win for this summer, every top club went and got them. Even the one we talked with for a year, which is the goalkeeper.
Well, we could have had him for 25 million last year.
Last season, exactly.
Yeah, but
So
we didn't have the 25 million. Exactly.
we didn't have 25 million, and we hadn't spent
Not without selling a player.
And at the time, we hadn't spent in 2 windows.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Because we spent 412 million in the first 3 windows.
Without selling anybody. Have you seen what our sales were like? We spent 180 million. We sold zero in players.
Nothing.
Zero.
That's why all the talk is
Nobody
now.
does that.
But the same people that say that, I'm not saying you.
That was all down to Amanda, God bless her.
No, was that all down to Amanda, or was it down to Eddie not wanting to get rid of players?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, but let's be honest. We had an offer from Atletico Madrid for Callum Wilson. We had a Bayern Munich interest for Trippier.
But he was injured.
It doesn't matter. If they want to buy him, they want to buy him. What are you talking about? What do you care for? You sell. So we could have sold. What's his name?
Could have sold Trips for 14 million.
It doesn't matter, man. Anything helps. We got to move on, don't we?
No,
So again,
there's no
you
way
want
I
to
would've
have
sold
it. You
Chip
want
for 14
again.
million.
We want to have it all. We don't want to sell. We want to keep the same players. We want the elite players. We want to win it all. It just doesn't happen that way, man.
Chris,
Something's got to give.
It's again, people argue on both sides of the coin. We can't sell players. We don't want to sell players.
But we've already been told by the CEO, Darren Eales, that every player is for sale if the right price is there. Because we have to become a club that self-sustains in this current situation that we find ourselves. Without selling players and our big players, this club will never move forward because there is no other sellable assets. We've seen the drips and drabs that have been offered for the deadwood, as everybody calls them. And to be fair, and there's very little money coming in for any of the others.
You're 100% correct there. But who will Eddie allow to be sold? Nobody.
Well, like I said, who do you replace them with, Boki? That's what he said. He said that in the past. The biggest problem for us is I sell a player and I have to then think of a player to replace them. Who do I bring
Who's
in
better?
and who can give me the better situation? And that is the issue, isn't it?
But
that's his job.
Of course it is, yeah. But if you've got a thin squad, Boki, if you've already got a really narrowing thin squad, and I'm going back 2 seasons when we had all the injuries, because this is when we're talking about now. We're talking 2 seasons ago when we had all the injuries. How the hell could we have sold anybody when we had the opportunity to?
Gary, that goes out the window when he has Osula and doesn't play Osula. When he has Longstaff there and doesn't even play him, and thankfully so, he came into that conclusion after playing Tonali, not playing Tonali for a long time. So he had
no excuse for not bringing in the subs. I totally agree. But are they good enough to support the team? And that's what I said.
Well, if they're not good enough, then it doesn't matter whether we find a replacement for him right now. We just got to get the players in and then sell them. Like we sold Longstaff, we knew he wasn't going to play. He could have, he could have stayed. But we ended up selling him. But even if he stayed, he wasn't going to play. So, but let me ask Philip, because I know if I ask Win, he's not going to have an answer for this. Philip, anything wrong that you see in the club right now, or is everything good?
In terms of what?
Anything. I don't know. Anything.
You have to be specific.
Anything that you would like to.
It's like I think you've asked a question with agenda behind it.
No agenda. No agenda.
How can you not think this is wrong? And I'm like, just ask me what you think.
No agenda. Okay, let's talk about the transfer. When we talk about the transfer window. So,
how's the house? You think it's clean? Do you see any mess around? No.
It's
nervously scanning.
What to say? Exactly. Where were you at today? Were you at work? Yeah.
You wasn't in Ely, were you?
Exactly. So, was anything that you find anything that you don't like as far as the transfers is concerned?
The transfers. I think. Look, this is how I look at the transfers. Is we're a good club. We're trying to be great, and this next step is so crucial. We just managed to get to the Champions League by the skin of our teeth. God bless Man United. That's the only time I'll say it. For beating Aston Villa, for getting us through this. We were this close. Otherwise, this whole kind of tussle about Isak is a no-go. We'll be talking about prices for Isak rather than, is he going to go or is he going to stay?
Well, I think that is very much the goal. But go on, finish your point.
Yeah, so we're now at the point where we want to go from good to great. And that's very, very difficult. What I do like, and funny enough, when I say this, I'm not saying, I love getting rejected by players. Oh, this is great. I'm not saying that. But we've moved on from players pretty quickly this season. Like that's a move forward in terms of trying to get the players in. So that's been a positive. I think we're already kind of been primed for an Ivan Gosson and what's the name, Kola Mwani and stuff like that. We'll see what happens with them anyway. That's a positive. So that's just the difficult part we're in, trying to get that player over. So it's not that I don't dislike anything, but I think we've made improvements. Could we be better? 100%. I'm hearing that the resources aren't exactly there for Eddie Howe. The likes of Chelsea, for instance. They've literally got their fingers in every pie. They've got scouts, agents. They've got people that are just networking, and they're talking to people consistently. People are talking to them. For me, I almost get the sense of that Newcastle got a few people, agents here and there. We've got a few agencies that we're cool with, CAA and Weatherman. And then Eddie Howe's on his blower every time during training sessions, having a conversation with them. It's not the 1980s anymore. Like we have to move, but it just shows you just how far we've come from, like, and where we are right now. We're trying to get our infrastructure going, and so I'm not saying, this is fantastic. I'm not doing a Ned Flanders for anybody that's watched The Simpsons before. Your house is burning down, the world is falling apart, and I'm like, but at least the sun is shining. I'm not doing that. But I just know that we are where we are. We're trying to be a good club to great club. The bigger clubs absolutely fear us, whether they like to admit it or not. There's a reason why they try to sign the petitions. And from the Man City case, you can see clubs literally try to create laws to stop Newcastle from prospering. So it's just a difficult period. We have to, but as a fan, myself as a fan, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do. We have to back it, because I feel like players, I'm not saying back stupid decisions, but I'm saying, I think players feed off the energy of any club. And if people already say, I see people already saying, we're linked to a player, but we're not going to get him though. We're just getting our hopes up again. So if you're a player watching that, you're like, sheesh, this is the club of no hope. I don't want to be here. So I think I'm guarding myself over that. I'm guarding myself over that, and just trying to be as good in terms of trying to see the good in the stuff that we're doing, and hopefully we'll get the players over the line, which I think we will.
Man, hey, I like what Phil just his
But when I say it, I'm an arsehole.
Because you said 24/7 and it does get on my
When I
nerves.
say, I do say it 24/7 because
But-
I'm happy.
But one point on that is that
Hold on, we got to get a super chat on though.
All right.
Chris Roll, poor win in jail. Sick of seeing Liverpool posting their dream team with Isak in it. Quick one for Chris. How did you get into Newcastle being from America? Good to see an American. Mag respect. Nobi Solano. I'm Peruvian as well, so he's Peruvian, and Nobi Solano is the one that got me into Newcastle. I wish I would have. Well, Nobi didn't play. Never mind. Nobi. I love Nobi. We met Nobi. Remember, we had a couple of beers with Nobi in the Toon. But Boki, go on, finish your point, man. Thank you, Christopher, for your.
He's on the high street.
Stop telling people secrets, man. Dang. He's trying to drink a beer alone, and this guy just.
How can Win still be in prison? You have to release the man.
Nobody super chatted to get him out. Nobody super chatted to get him out. Everybody's just sending candid messages for everybody else. They love to see Win in jail. But Boki, go.
Nobby Solano was amazing as a right winger, and I think he's
Well, I
probably
wish
the
we
best
could-
right winger we've ever had.
No doubt,
So
man.
that's my point. I completely agree in regards to transfers. Apart from, we just cannot get them over the line at the minute.
I think we take too long. That's the problem.
Because we're getting gazumped.
But
No.
we're meant to be a top class club at the minute. We're a Champions League club. We're a top 5 club in the Premier League. How can we not get players over the line?
If you're a player, and you have to be honest, you have to be objective, because I'm a super biased Newcastle fan. I think every player should join Newcastle. But if if I'm João Pedro and I literally just spent 3 days at Chelsea and I've already won the Cup Winners' Cup. All the things I know about Chelsea, who have won the most trophies in the last 20 Premier League years, you're gonna back the guy that's nearly spent 2 billion over the last 3-4 seasons, and you know that you're gonna probably win more.
I think you're
And
right.
they're going to get 40 grand a week more.
And he's gonna get 40 grand a week more.
You're right in that, but what my saying is, what I'm thinking, I think Boga's saying the same thing, is that we take too long. So we going on about these players for weeks and weeks, and of course everybody's going to notice. Everybody's going to get in the deal. If they, Liverpool weren't rumored to go for Ekitike. They were talking about
media. No, but look, sorry to interrupt you, but you see the Ekitike stuff. I was watching it, and I'm watching Fabrizio Romano and all these media guys. 2 days before all of this started, Fabrizio sent out this post saying, clubs are looking at Ekitike, Clubs are looking at Ekitike. Then the next day he says, do you know what? Now, top line, Newcastle looking at Ekitike, and Liverpool and all that are in the distance. And I'm like, here we go. Here we go. And I can already tell that we're probably talking to Ekitike. We're probably close to finalizing a fee with Ekitike. And people forget there's another club in this, Eintracht Frankfurt. They're not quite happy with the 65 mil that we're offering. And Mr. Ekitike isn't quite happy with the probably 100K that we're offering. Can we get more, both from Ekitike and Frankfurt side? Then we go, bam, we send our whole delegation into Austria. And then Mr. Fabrizio Romano, Ornstein go into overdrive. Hey, Newcastle have already sent the delegation over. They're about to agree the fee. Julian Laurent as well was saying, hey, the medical's booked. And then it forced everybody. It's forced Liverpool into a situation where, okay.
Well, exactly.
Yeah, so but look, it doesn't matter who we go for. It's going to be the same process. Like
okay, then so you're right. I agree with you, and I agree, unfortunately, with the nub on the middle. I agree. Perfect. Why are we not involved with other players like more Ilangas?
Who says we're not?
But with that as well, why are we pissing about offering a lower amount than his release clause? which was 14 million euros.
Well,
more.
if they think we don't have the money to pay more, then I guess that they're right to offer the maximum.
Ekatike.
Yeah,
86 million pounds for Ekatike.
But 14 million euros more. Surely everybody here
14
would
million
agree.
is nothing to
That
sneeze
lad,
at. It's
that
not
lad,
14
that
million
lad.
quid.
Oh,
It's
but
14 million.
let's finish the point.
Yeah.
That lad would be worth 14 million pounds more coming into this club. He would have made such a difference.
And,
That
and,
40 million is nothing.
Again, as I've said,
and as Win says, you can
the one
amortize
thing
it.
that Newcastle United as a club appear to do is put a valuation on a figure, and they won't be bullied
Yeah,
into taking
well,
anything higher than that.
my
That's
point.
That's
my
what they're
po-
valued at.
My point is, you're gonna have to. If you, I think if you really want to stay relevant, you have to overpay for some players. You're gonna have to overpay for some players. Now you can win the piss take competition that Mighty Win wants to win. You know, we won't move out of it. Okay, yeah, you're right. Good job, Newcastle. You won't overpay for players, but you're gonna be player less. So which one would you rather have? I don't know.
Well, who says we're going to be player less?
When we bought Gordon for 45 million,
Gordon wasn't thought of.
Newcastle are insane paying 45 million.
Some
for
people,
guys
yeah, I agree.
for more than 5 goals. Isak, 60, 70 million. Who's this guy they bought from Real Sociedad that scored 5 goals of the season? Newcastle are crazy. Tonali, all of these guys, people were saying we've overpaid for the Tino Livramento, Lewis Hall.
But we're not doing those businesses though. Those deals. We're not dealing with players like that. Why aren't we? If that worked before, why we're not doing it no more?
This is what I keep.
For 14 million pounds.
Hold on, let me get Gary though, because he's been quiet.
Sorry.
No, the only thing I was going to say is, you see, the one thing that frustrates you more than anything else is when you see business like Man City, who have won title after title after title, and you look at what they've spent and how they've spent it. Apart from Rodri, I cannot think of another player that they have spent massive amounts of money on. Mm-hmm. Can anybody else tell me different?
Well, define massive amount.
Well, you know, okay. Nicholas Jackson now, Chelsea have just said he's valued between 80 and 100 million pounds. Would you pay that for Nicholas Jackson?
No,
somebody's going to pay 60.
Well, I wouldn't pay 50 for Nicholas Jackson, never mind
20,
60.
30 million. Thank you.
But that's what I'm saying, you see. Go on,
we got a super chat from Geniesta Wijnaldum. Thank you. What is SEK?
Swedish krona.
Oh, sweet. We got the Scandinavians in the building. Hard to sell a vision to agents and players without a DOF.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
it was Amanda who was selling the dream, wasn't it?
That's one way of looking at it. Come on, there's something you gotta give, man. Something's gotta give. Thank you to Chris again. Says, does this make wins?
Down the river, like in the final transfer window. Like, to be careful. She's amazing, but let's not overblow it. Like,
does this make wins? Bell, keep him on tag if he starts talking about. There you
pussy.
Go. Oh, yeah. Stop saying that. Stop saying that, or you're gonna stay in jail. Anyway, let me take you out. Anyways.
Thank you, Christopher.
There you go. Somebody put him back in, man. Come on. All right, and I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, I do buy I do, because when people say if we had a better manager that's elite that people know about, yeah, that would help. But I don't think the manager is a debate, to be honest.
We do have an elite manager. Pep Guardiola couldn't do with us this season.
Oh, okay. Now you got the crown. Now you are a true happy clapper. Now, Philip. Come on now.
No. Guardiola scratching his. He had to pay £300 million during the transfer window.
What? Why do people?
Team over the line.
People.
What did we do?
No, hold on. For example, today, people they're doing the same thing. They were going on about Arne Slot being the guy that spends all the money now and how he cheats. How is that cheating? How's that cheat? You still got to bring the guys in and coach them and put them in the right position.
Whoa! Liverpool have never been cheating.
I didn't say I'm cheating. I'm saying Eddie Howe.
Until this window, Liverpool had only spent £40 million.
Yeah, that's fine.
More than we've spent.
But now that they're spending, people are talking about them as if they're doing something wrong, like Man City. Who cares if they spend?
Liverpool are doing everything right. They've made the money by winning the competitions.
But what's wrong with Man City then?
Nothing.
They spend the money they have.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Man City.
Envy. It's just envy. That's what it is.
Football throughout history The titles have been won by the teams that spend the most money.
I mean, listen, I refuse at this point to believe, because we need to get three more players? What do you guys think? Three more players?
I think 4. But
So
I mean,
now, okay, so
I think 3 first team.
okay, so we
ready,
got
and 5 altogether.
so 5 altogether. What?
The
Okay.
midfielder, the one in the midfielder.
So
Beg pardon, Phil?
we know now that the strategy doesn't work. We know now, because we can't go for elite players, because as soon as we do,
we don't know that the
as
strategy
soon
doesn't
as we do, you guys complain that the big clubs want to
They
go
can't get
and
all the players. There's still
they
players
can't
out
get
there.
them all.
Chelsea's getting them all.
We're working while we're down the list.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So essentially, we don't get the top players; we get the leftovers.
That's
So what are we talking about? So instead of just going for the leftovers straight away, we're gonna funny around until
We beat AC Milan to Sven Botman. We've beaten numerous other teams to really good players. Like, it's not a thing. Like, it's just with the teams that we've come against have got money as well. We will get the players. We will get top players. It's not the end of the world.
there's plenty more fish in that sea.
It has to be.
Exactly.
why can't we? But why can't we just go for that plenty of fish?
We
Well,
are.
I think
Because
that's,
we want to exhaust the possibility first.
But
of
the time is
getting
clicking, mate.
The top fish. There's 6 weeks to go, man.
The time is clicking, and you have to sign 3 players. According to you, have to be established, ready to play players. So you think we're gonna do? Come on, man, be honest. Do you think
We've
right
got
now
we've got 1 already. We need another 2, and then we need 2 backup.
No, I think we need 3. I think it needs to be a center forward
Centre back.
and a
goalkeeper.
midfielder.
Well, like I say, even after Saturday, goalkeeper would still be the.
But lads, from this transfer window, what makes us think we can sign players? We've done shit so far.
We've signed players before. We've signed players. Not the end of it, but like, we will sign players. This is right.
Well,
at the
but
end of the
Boki, we haven't done shit until one of the bigger teams have come in and poached them, and it was exactly the same with the likes of Mamouche, where we inquired about Mamouche, and Man City come in and took them.
Gary,
Same way with Ekatike.
Arnold.
But we know that.
now
Again,
should
I
be
can't-
able to compete with these teams.
Well, you got. I think
Well,
what
we
you've also
can't
got to think
compete
of.
with the big
you're not-
4.
You're never going to compete with the bigger boys because, and I'm going to go on Eddie Howe said here, right? These are Eddie Howe's words. He understands that a player's career is short. So if you're a player, and this is why I said, I think Isak's head has been turned by the interest from Liverpool. And I think, unfortunately, we may see a different Isak if he stays in a black and white shirt this year.
With that attitude, we can't sign anybody because.
Well, you can.
We're not a top club.
Well, exactly. But what makes you a top club, Loki? What you've got to do is you've still got to go. Listen. If I go into a shop to buy a car,
one at a time.
If we're in the top 4 next season, which we are, we're a cup winner. We're a top club. Why can we not now sign top class players?
Because it's the first time we've done it in 70 years. What's that? What is that selling you?
Oh no, I agree. That's not selling you much. Now that message should be accepted by people of the caliber of Philip and Mike Wynn. Not gonna put adjectives in front of you, but that you say that we've won it all. That Eddie Howe is the Messiah and the King of Kings and everything else. When we won just a Carabao Cup, right? It's massive.
At the end of the day, the only thing we are selling is a promise. We'll promise to win something, but when that'll be,
the project is the big seller in my opinion.
Yeah.
Listen, let's talk about Gem Stature says that was Wynn's words last summer. Last summer window. Relax. There's still 100%. It was the same thing over and over. Relax. We got weeks ahead. It's nothing happened. But now knowing how Wynn works, this is what he's going to say. He's going to say he's not wrong because we signed Ilanga. So there you go.
No,
anyway,
longer is not enough. And if we get to the 2nd of September and haven't strengthened that squad sufficiently, then I will be blaming PIF.
Let me, of course. But
what Tony's just said there is perfect.
You won't be blaming Eddie Howe.
No.
But we have established that it's Eddie Howe, Andy Howe, and Steve Nixon who are in charge of getting transfers in. We have established that, but still it's going to be PIF's fault. It's unbelievable. Listen, and I don't want to blame Eddie Howe on everything, but 1%, give me one.
If Real Madrid are going in for Dean Huijsen, what's Eddie Howe's going to say? I'm Eddie Howe. I won the League Cup.
Well, no, I agree with you. He couldn't say that.
Right.
I agree with you. He says that. Hoyson say, "What? Who are you,
so
man?"
when Eddie Howe goes for Ekitike, my name's Eddie Howe. I just won the League Cup.
No.
Liverpool, Premier League champions.
My thing is because I think the strategy should be going for the plenty of fish instead of going for the sharks and the orcas.
Which fish are we not going for?
Well, there's plenty out there, mate. There is loads.
There's a lot of South American talents. There's a lot of African talents. Well, we should have gone exactly. We should have just gone for Wissa. Why couldn't we? Boom.
We are going for Wissa.
Well, we are now.
Yeah. Well, it's too late.
But we will see. I don't know if it's too late. I don't know. But according to Brentford reports that they won't sell Wissa.
We're going to Wissa after we went for Delap, after we went for João Pedro.
Why are we?
Now we're going for Wissa.
Why are we? But we knew it wouldn't work.
No.
We didn't know it wouldn't work.
Are you telling me going for Wissa because you're never going to get a Ekitike? That's the worst mentality.
No. At this moment, apparently it doesn't. You guys are telling me that as soon as the big guys looked at those players, that it's over, that we lost the battle. So what are we talking about?
They weren't looking at them.
Chris, you're 100% correct in that we should be going for these players, but go for the lot of them together.
Well, exactly. That's another thing. We can't do multiple things at once.
In regards to going for one player at a time.
Why are we not going for a midfielder, center back? What's going on with Marquet? Why are we not signing Marquet?
Liverpool. That question's finished.
Is it finished? Because Liverpool are nowhere near. I mean, there was that report a long time ago, but that's it.
Called big club privilege. You can make a player wait for you.
Right.
Real Madrid can make a player run down his contract.
So again,
they are
100%. So we are not big enough to make people wait.
That's the point.
Well, we're not big enough. We're not big enough to make people wait. That means we need to work on multiple deals at once, and we're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. Come on, man. We go from position to position. Like it looks like we got no strategy. We talk about a forward. We talk about a winger. We go to Trafford. Then we go to. Come on, man. We're all over the place, man.
When we're talking to João Pedro, how long did it take us to go from João Pedro to Ekitike?
But we're like a yo-yo. We'll go from one player to the other quickly.
Okay, so first of all, you guys said
you make your mind up.
Multiple players. Now you guys are saying, now we're yo-yo.
We weren't for João Pedro and Ekitike at the same time, man.
Of course we were. How can you?
No, the Ekitike deal broke out of nowhere.
No. We found out about it out of nowhere.
No, because
we found out about it out of nowhere.
Because one thing you can trust.
How good Newcastle are at keeping their tracks covered.
Really, man. Okay.
To Fabrizio Romano and say, Newcastle are about to.
But listen. But the reason why you will always hear everything on time is because Frankfurt don't care about no Newcastle keeping their secrets. They want to voice it out immediately so they can get other offers. So
it's an auction, mate. That's what I said.
So there's no such thing as we are talking about it for Ekitike 2 weeks ago. No, it would have been leaked out 2 weeks ago.
What I'm saying is Newcastle had Ekitike on their internal radar whilst they were in the process of actually putting bids in for João Pedro.
Don't forget, we were looking at Ekitike before we had Isa.
Chelsea came in for João Pedro. Right, we'll move on to the next one. It's not totally out of the blue. It's not flip-flopping. It's not jumping ship. It was already there in the pipeline. And there'll be another one in the pipeline right now that nobody knows about.
Okay. Well, let's inform the other clubs so they can sell.
We may not have informed them.
Okay, but you're gonna get the deal done if you let them know you want the player. Because if you don't, then there's no deals. Come on.
Just got a memo. What happened? All Brentford had to do was whisper the name of Newcastle linked to Wissa. It went on Wednesday, 5 minutes. They said, in Mbemo, Man United.
We're done. But you're singing that as a victory when we might not get Wissa because we waited too long.
I'm making the point that as soon as Newcastle get on the blower, we're trying to do the do.
Well, now we are. Now because we lost on the Ekitike rather quickly.
But we started on Ekitike when we lost out on Pedro.
But if we don't get Wissa, if we don't get
Have
Wissa,
you seen his wages? Have you seen what they've offered him for wages, Ekatike?
what?
15 million a year.
No, I'm not
3
saying. Listen, again, I agree with you. We're going to lose every battle against Liverpool, against all those guys. My point is, we should go. Exactly, we should have gone for Wissa a
So
long
we
time
shouldn't have
ago.
bothered going for them.
If you know you're going to lose the
You're
battle,
the one that wants
if
to be
you
a
know,
big
if you know you're going to lose the battle, yeah. If you know you're going to lose the battle, yeah.
You
Chris,
don't know you're
cannot
going to
win
lose it till you enter it.
You cannot win against these guys because they're arguing
can't
on
win.
both sides of the
They move the
coin.
goal. They move the goal around.
Imagine this.
100%.
Imagine we got Wissa and Ekatike gets on the phone and say, "Do you know, I could have gone to you guys. Liverpool were never interested."
Nah, come on now, man. Come on now. Come on, man. Listen, you got to call these guys. Look, why are we not in for John Philippe Mateta? He's to me, he's right now the greatest center forward in the history of football.
Well, to you,
Why can't we not go for him? When he scores goals, he's a machine. He gets to work. He looks intimidating. You know, why can't we get?
Personally, I want Sesko, but I don't. I don't know.
and I think we've got every chance of getting Sesko.
But
We
Chris,
got every chance. You listen to this, man.
You can't sign these players because all these guys are saying is until there's an excuse not to sign them.
No. Who's going to buy Sesko now?
So my question:
If Arsenal get Gyökeres, Liverpool have already got Ekitike, Chelsea have got João Pedro and Delap. Who are we going to be up in competition with then?
Man, this is criminal. This man.
This is life.
Well, see, I had a question. Listen, I'm having a hard time.
Imagine if.
Oh no, let's talk.
If Forest, Brighton, Brentford are chasing the same player that we are, right? We're going to be the undisputed winners in that race. We can take our time with that player, but we're not competing with Forest and Brighton. With all respect to those teams, we're just competing with Real Madrid, with Liverpool.
Yeah, but
and
those players that are playing for those teams, I'm sorry, I thought you meant like if they were playing for Brentford or
No. If Brentford are going in for a player that we are going in for,
yeah, who is Brentford going for that we want?
If us and Brentford are going in for that player, we are going to be first choice for that player, undoubtedly. No, you guys, you think Brentford are going to be first, right?
What did you say there? You cut off.
I'm saying that if Newcastle were competing for players as the same players as
Brentford, I agree with that. But I'm not sure I want a Brentford player or a player that Brentford want. Or
100%. That's a backward step. They were behind us last season.
Exactly.
Signing a player that they want is a backward step.
Exactly. So
which is why we're going for the top. We're going for the cream.
Yeah. Well, I think we should go try. Listen, I think we should try Mbappe and see. He might say yes. He might say yes, and we might in for him. Let's go out there and get Mbappe, Jude Bellingham. I want all those if we're gonna do that. By the way, why are we interested in the Juventus lad? No. Well, no. Column one is there's rumors about him. But
and you folks, we've just busted 100 likes. Come on,
thank you, everybody. Come on, hit the like button. Hit the like button. Please support the channel. Let's talk about Isak for a second, because Isak, we got 10 minutes. And by the way, after we're done, you'll be redirected to our Premier League channel where we put out the news roundup in the Premier League. So join that one right after this one. You'll be redirected. But before we finish, Isak, what's going on with him? When do we go to? Where are we going?
Friday.
Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday.
Listen, I'm actually starting. Don't listen to Win, man. He can't tell clear from shite. Man.
I'm waiting for Wednesday.
But I'm going to put it in Monday.
Listen. So what's going on with Isak? I mean, I don't know. I always thought the rumors were nonsense, but then you start seeing this Saudi stuff. It makes no sense to me.
Newcastle United are scheduled to leave for their pre-season tour of the Far East on July the 27th. When's that?
Lads,
that's Saturday, isn't it?
Very quiet. Could we give him a chance to talk about Isak?
Yeah, Gary, go on, Gary. Yeah, exactly.
What's that? Sorry.
What do you think about Isak? The whole Isak situation.
If I'm honest with you, I said it before when we were in previous shows. When the likes of Liverpool coming in and asking the club about £120 million transfer, then you hear a lot of rumours, you hear a lot of BS. People like to click on certain things, make stories up, and everything else. The one thing that I looked at straight away was the fact that, again, from his agent's company, was the fact that Isaac apparently had said that he wouldn't rule out a move, right? So that was direct from his agent. It wouldn't rule out a move, even though across social media they had made it sound like, and again, this is clickbait, that Isaac had forced Newcastle not to finalise or say he wouldn't move. It wasn't that at all. He says he wouldn't be adhere to a move. He would like a move type of thing if it was under the right steam. Now, what I couldn't understand, and we all said this, apparently he was in the hotel in Glasgow with the rest of the lads, and it was a conversation between himself and Eddie Howe, and there was a conversation where Eddie Howe felt as though he needed to protect him from all of the gossip around the ground. Now, I can't understand that. That to me is something that I'm not 100% comfortable with, because if J7 was in the stand, wasn't going to play any minutes. There's no reason why your other player couldn't be in the stand. You can still keep them away from a lot of the noise around you if you isolate them enough. He could have even sat in the dugout where there's no other noise.
Quite
Do you
honestly,
know what I mean?
this BS about noise. What he's going to be in a box in air conditioning with nobody. What is he going to get? 20 million reporters asking him where it's going to go? No,
exactly.
What are you talking
That's what I said. And I think it's obviously a discussion where he's obviously said to Eddie Howe, "Listen, I am not going to rule out a move, but I just need time to think and focus on what I want to do." And I think his head's not in the right space. So that's why I said I think Eddie Howe has asked him to go home and think about his future. I'm not, and there's a lot of red flags in Eddie Howe's post-match interview when he turned around and said he understands a player's career is short. And when you've got the likes of Isaac, who is one of the top in his area as we speak, a lot of clubs that are winning Champions Leagues, that are winning cups, winning Premier titles, are going to come knocking at the door or ask a question. You are automatically going to say to yourself, maybe this is the time for me to go and do it. We all mock the likes of Harry Kane, waiting too long in his career, if you like, to go and win something. Isaac is not getting any younger. So, Isaac will have a really good think of this. And like I said, you look at the money that's being pulled out, and I said about Nicholas Jackson, and everybody was saying, this 120 million is low ball. Well, if Nicholas Jackson's worth 100 million, how much is Alexander Isak worth? So I did feel at the time when Liverpool came on board with this 120 million, they knew fine well that they were never going to get the player. But what they didn't know was it was going to upset him mentally.
They unsettled. I mean, and now they're starting to say, wait a minute. Now we can get Ekitike and Isak if we try. Yeah. So that is the problem. Let me go. Win. What do you think about this whole situation? I mean, you say you don't care if he stays. I know you never loved him anyway.
It could definitely have been handled better, as Gary's just said. It could definitely have been handled better.
Could definitely. Condemn it, man. Say it. Say it with your chest. Everything is great, man. Nonsense. Say it, man.
I'm saying it could have been handled better. But we are not privy to whatever was said between Eddie Howe and Isaac. And whichever way, there's a multitude of ways of interpreting what Eddie Howe said. The one thing that I take, Happy Clapper in Chief, I take as gospel is he said he is confident that Isaac will be a Newcastle United player at the end of the transfer window.
But he can't guarantee it. Okay.
But he can't guarantee. Of course, he can't guarantee it, because if Saudi come in with 200 million, he'll go.
But if you look at what Eddie Howe says, he thinks he'll start the season. He didn't mention he won't finish it.
Well, hold on. He needs to start the preseason. Now, what is this, man?
I think we're
He's
coming
going. He's definitely going to the Far East.
Well, that's unless somebody comes in for him, because they'll wrap him in cotton wool if that's the case.
If we are going to sell him,
So-
get it done quickly.
Yeah, so
well,
we
at
could
least
use the
so we
money.
know what's happening.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Phil-
again,
Phil-
this all comes down now to what Gary and I discussed on the show last week sometime about the PR. The PR at the club now is absolutely woeful.
Well, there you go. That's you criticizing something for a change. Poor PR team, put the poor them, but at least we got some criticism.
I just want to go on to this one. The Saudi report or the Saudi source was about Al Hilal. That was the leak from that one. This was another one about the Liverpool source.
But the
didn't come out in the papers.
positive spin to come out of the Al Hilal story was that Isaac refused to do an interview with
Okay.
I can't remember what the name of the paper was, but he refused to do an interview with them.
All right. Philip, what do you think? Last thoughts before we finish up.
on Isak. Man, like I said, I hope he stays. We'll see how it goes. The other theory I had in my head over the Saudi stuff was, if we do this, I'll be interested to see if, goodness, if we do sell him to Al Hilal, for instance. I know that it's not a concrete thing for 150 million, and they loan him back to us. I wonder how the football world is going to take that one.
Oh, not good.
Well, considering that
They might need-
Chelsea and the rest of them do it on a much smaller scale, but kind of in quantities. But how the football world will take that, I don't know. If obviously the contract is something, if money is an issue type of thing, so because that would solve all the money situations. I don't know what you guys think about it. I haven't quite made up my mind, to be honest.
Well, no, the football world is going to not like it. There's going to be uproar, but there's nothing they can do about it. But it won't happen again. I tell you that. We're not going to be doing that. So listen, I don't know. I just the thought of him going to Saudi, I think that is a desecration on his career. Quite honestly, I just don't. I just couldn't see it. I don't think
They
I've seen
loan
it.
him back to us though.
Well, no, not that. I mean, I can see that as being a master stroke, if you will, but I don't think the rumors are about a loan. They're they want to purchase his transfer fee. So I don't know. I don't know what to expect at this point, to be honest.
Come on, guys, 700 likes. Hit the likes, please. Hit the likes.
Hit the like button. Hit the like button. We got a lot of people watching right now, so I appreciate everybody's support. Right now,
Don't forget to subscribe as well. Get us to 6,000. That'll be
subscribe,
brilliant.
very important. And right now, everybody's going to get redirected to RCM Football, our sister channel, where we put up Premier League news. So go out there, the news roundup. Not going to do a lot of interaction with comments because we just got to get through the news. But go out there, get informed. Subscribe to that channel as well. We're going to put up a lot of content there. So appreciate everybody's support. Also subscribe to Philip, Toon Tactics TV on YouTube. You'll find it. You just got to put Toon Tactics TV on YouTube, and you'll find his channel. Great stuff. Good lad.
Thanks, Phil.
He's a clapper, but it's okay though. He's a great lad. Great channel.
Great
Good
being
tactics.
happy, isn't it, Phil? Great
Good
being
tactics.
happy.
Good tactics for sure. But of course he's going to advocate. He's going. Of course, he's going to advocate for 20 million people. We're going to hire 200 people, all on keyboards, typing. Oh, this player here. He's all for that. Listen, it is what it is. But I appreciate everybody's support. I will see you all on the next one.
And
folks.
welcome,
Take care.
Suds.
There we go. See you. Bye bye.
How are you, lads?
Lasses and bands.